Welcome back to Dubbzi Bricks for another episode of building Gotham City in Lego. And in the last update, we worked on the turtle layer. We did a little bit more work in there, and then we decided to rearrange the entire city. And really am loving the change that I've made to this. I think it's going to be a lot better how it is now compared to before. It's a lot easier to visualize certain aspects of it. There are some parts which I'm still trying to get my head around, like where the road's going to be going on the top here, and also the train tracks. And that is something I would like to work on very soon. But what I'm going to carry on working on for the time being is this area here. As I mentioned a couple of updates ago, I would like to get one area finished before moving on to another. With things like the turtle lair and the Batcave, I know there are going to be parts that I need to order in to finish them off. And what I will do is I'll compile a list of all of the parts and then get it all in one order, just to make it that little bit easier for me and hopefully a cheaper way of getting the pieces. So what we're going to start off by doing this week is I'm going to get the ramp sorted out that's coming up here, and then I can work on the rock work just there. With this entire area here, it's all interlinked with each other. So for example, the bunks for the turtles, they're actually connected to the rock work behind, and the same with the ramp. That's going to be connected, supports are going to be connected to the rock work. So yeah, it is a bit of a juggling act with that. And when it comes to the front here, I do want to have the raised road coming up here. So once again, that's going to be integrated into the wall that's the other side of the turtle. So yeah, it's going to get quite complex. I still have to fill this gap in with some wood effect of some description. But due to the light and how much you can see there, I could possibly just get away with using some brown bricks. And I think that's probably going to be the best bet. That way I can get that all done. And then I can also get the support pillars all built up as well for that. Now, there were some great comments last week, or in the last update, sorry. And it was around the pipe here. Somebody said, why don't I do it 90 degrees, just do a 90 degree down angle, and then put it into the ground. That way I won't have to worry about it interrupting with the road, which is a good idea. However, the water is flowing down, so I think it needs to be coming possibly from the side. So whether I do it from this side or that side, I'm not sure, but I will have the pipe on there somewhere just so it looks realistic, basically. And also with the road, I'm not sure where I'm going to be putting that on here. Is it going to be hard up here, more to the side? Again, that's just something I need to work out. It would be nice to start working on the structural side of this, just so I know that it is going to be right and how I want it to be, so that I can get this entire area sorted. So yeah, without further ado, let's get the bricks and plates out and let's get started. And the first thing we're working on is the ramp that is going into the Wayne terminus. And it's quite a steep ramp, obviously, because it needs to come up in quite a short distance. So now that we've worked out where it's going to be, I can work out how high I can make the trophy room just here. So I'm going to just measure the distance on there, build that up using some light bluish grey bricks, masonry bricks and things like that. Put some lights in there as well, so it's all ready for the actual trophies. The next thing I need to do is work out where I'm going to be putting the bat suit, and I'm thinking about putting it just here. So I'll remove this rock work that we've put there, and I want to have it so that the door comes open to reveal the suit behind it, as you see in Batman Returns. So let's start making those amendments to the Batcave, and we'll check back in once we've done so. And we made a little bit of progress. The trophy room, that's all lit up now. Just need to work out what I'm going to do for the actual floor itself and how the trophies are going to be presented in there. And we've got the suit chamber just here. And this is the same technique as you see in the shadow box. So you just rotate this axle here, and then that will close the door, which will have the suit behind it. And I will be putting a light inside the suit chamber as well, just so you can see the actual bat suit through the hole in the door. Anyway, let's carry on building the rockwork up all around both these areas. Next thing I have to do is make this cable disappear into the brickwork. I don't want to have it so it's actually being pinched against two bricks. And as you can see, I've put these panel pieces in here so that I can run the cable up through this particular wall here. Now on this section just here, again, I'm going to have bricks all the way along there, so I just need to find a way of doing so. So I'll be using this part on the very corner and then next to it I'll be having this part here. That way I can just run the cable along it and the brickwork can be built up. So let's just pop that all in place and I'll show you how it looks. And that's the cable all tucked in, so it's going through this brick here. I'm going to leave these two studs blank there, and I'll just put a brick all the way across the top and then just carry on building the rockwork. So at least now there's no pressure at all on that lighting cable. So anyway, let's carry on building that rockwork up and we'll finally get this section all finished off. And here is the latest build that will be going into the Batcave. And this has been inspired by the shadow box. It's currently in 3 parts, so it's going to be quite simple to attach this part to the Batcave as we have the studs on the bottom. Again, with this part here, that should be pretty straightforward as well. Once I've built the walls up, I can just connect the plates across the top and then that will be that part attached. This is the only part that's going to cause a little bit of a problem, but I think I know a way around it. And it's due to the fact the studs are pointing downwards instead of upwards. But what I'm going to do now is just build a black wall in the Batcave and then pop this in front of it and then build some more rockwork around it and see how that comes out. And we started to attach the bat symbol to the rockwork here, and I thought I'd just show you the technique I'm using for keeping this part here in place. This is the one that has the studs pointing in the wrong direction. So we've got the tile on the plates just there. There's a tile on here as well. That's going to enable those to rest on top of each other perfectly. And then this section here will just slide over the top. Now we can just build the brick walls up on either side, put a plate across the whole lot there. That will keep the top section in place. And I'll just build something over the back bit there, just to help give that a little bit more stability and strength. And that's the bat symbol all firmly in place now, and the rockwork is up to the height that will be going on this side of the Batcave. Now there are some more details to go around the door and on the floor as well. And also on the rockwork here, there's going to be a lot of cheese wedges and tiles covering up the exposed studs there. So it'll be a nice smoother finish. And the same on this section just here. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to have a little bit of a play and see if I can make a dinosaur head and see whether or not I can actually make it fit in the rock coming out of the rockwork just here. Not sure if it's going to be possible or not, as obviously we've got the ramp coming up behind. But it's worth having a try and see if we can do so. And there's the ramp all in place, and I've made this small contraption here to represent the size of a dinosaur head, and that will fit in there quite nicely. So I think it's going to look quite good once I've got the relevant parts for that. Now, I do need to order all the parts in. I've got nowhere near the pieces I need in both colour or shape. So I'm going to design that on Studio, order the parts in, and then I'll get that all built. So I can't really do much more with the rockwork along here. It's going to be a lot easier for me to attach the dinosaur head into this hole here and then build the rockwork all around it. So what I'm going to turn my attention to now is continuing to build the supports up just on the inside of this part here and also over the back. And we built up a fair part of the support structure just here. And I was just about to start filling this area in here and put support beams across, and then also put in a platform in there to rest the battery pack for the lights. However, I am considering changing the lights over. At the moment, these are like my brick lights. However, I am going to be trying a new light manufacturer, and I want to try them out because if they are the ones I'm going to be using long term, then I will swap all the lights over now. It will mean I've got to do a little bit of rebuilding here. It should snap off quite easily, and then I'll place it all back on. But I just need to make sure that I've got the right lights in here before I cover all of this over. So it does mean I'm not going to be going any further forward with this section just here until those lights arrive. They have been dispatched, so they shouldn't be too long. So I'm going to turn my attention to this section just here now and build the grey wall up on the front here to hide all of the filler brick and filler plate. And that's another section of filler brick and filler plate all covered over. And with this section here, I won't do anything with that until I've worked out exactly where the road is coming up and also whether or not I'm going to have the pipe coming out of there at all. Now, once I've plated this entire section off, it is probably going to be about 2 to 3 bricks higher than this part of the platform. And where I'm going to be having the road going along here, I will have to slope the road up onto this area here. But I don't want to go any further with doing any of the building in here until I've decided on the lights, whether or not I'm going to keep the existing lights in here or change them over to the new brand once I've got them in. Now, the other thing I need to do is build the Dinosaur as well, just so I can get that sorted. So yeah, we're going to have to hold fire. We're doing a little bit more work on here, but really happy with how this is all coming along. Loving the bat symbol into the rockwork just there. And here we have the before photograph of the front of the build, and here is the after, and here is the Batcave before, and here is the Batcave after. So a fair bit of progress made. Anyway, that's all we have time for. I hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And if you know anybody else you think would be interested in building Gotham City in Lego, if you could share the channel with them, it'd be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for hopping on by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.